ChatGPT and artificial intelligence is one of the most revolutionary tools that you can use right now to generate income and make money. In this video, I'm going to walk you through step by step exactly how you can use ChatGPT in the real world to save time, make money, and provide real value that people will pay money for. Now, there are going to be a lot of different use cases which you can use ChatGPT for. So in this video, we're going to be focusing on a couple things. Number one is sales when it comes to lead generation and actually selling. And the other is going to be copywriting, whether it's for sales landing pages, cold emails, you name it. We're going to use ChatGPT for this. So let's go ahead and give you a hypothetical example of how I would be using this if I, let's say, was a freelancer working for a company, or even if I was an entrepreneur or employee of a company, how I can use the technology, right? So first of all, for this example, I'm going to pretend that I am working at this company called Analog. And if you didn't know, Analog makes these retro style Game Boy emulators, or it's not really an emulator, pretty much like a replica of a Game Boy, where you can actually put Game Boy games inside and it will work perfectly, right? Whether it's the older Game Boy or Game Boy Advance and things like that. And look, you can even use this as a synthesizer if you are into music, right? How you can actually use ChatGPT in this particular scenario is, number one, you need to build lists, right? So any type of lead generation for any type of B2B sales or selling in general, you need to know who you're selling to. So what I can do with ChatGPT is I can type, hey, find me the top 10 YouTube channels that focus on vintage video game collectibles. Now, if you didn't know, there's this whole niche where people are talking about, restoring old Game Boys, playing these older games, and they have so much joys from like the 90s and the 80s and things like that, and they're bringing it back to life. And it is a very popular trend, which is why companies like Analog and many competitors can come into the scene. So if I want to, let's say, get the top 10 creators who talk about retro video games, because that's my ideal target demographic, I can type that in, and ChatGPT is going to give me 10 results, right? We have Game Hut, Game Sack, Meadow Jesus Rocks, 8-Bit Eric, and the list goes on. And of course, I can double check who these people are just to make sure, they are a fit for my product. And once I do that, this list is already done, right? And I can make more lists. I can say, hey, give me a list of, 50 people who are in the retro video games, or talk about video games, for example, and that could be a potential sponsored ad. So when it comes to list lead generation, ChatGPT is really quick when it comes to finding these people, especially if they already have some type of social media following, whether it's on like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It works pretty well. I've experimented with different things, so give it a try if you would like. Now, the next thing you can use ChatGPT for is to generate cold emails, right? So in this particular scenario, if I'm trying to cold email these influencers and convince them that they should talk about my product, I can go into ChatGPT and I can say, hey, write a cold email to ask retro video game influencers on YouTube if they would be interested in a paid promotion for our product. And I put the website of the product that I'm trying to sell, include a subject line with a high open rate, right? Hopefully they give something catchy. And at the end of the email, ask the influencer to schedule a time to talk on my calendar if they are interested. So what ChatGPT gave me is subject line, the new way to play classic games, Analog Pocket. Personally, I think that we can do better on the subject line. It will take a couple A/B testing. When ChatGPT creates any type of cold email for you, understand it's giving you like 60% of the way, 70% of the way, but you're gonna have to go in and manually edit some things, or you're gonna have to keep feeding it or try different variations before you get something that can be applicable in the real world to get results, right? And so this, I would say it's like 60% there, but I wanna go over it with you real quick so you have an understanding of how it works, right? So it's like, dear influencers, or whoever the person's name is, I hope this find you well. My name is blah, blah, blah. Came across your channel, gives you that context over here. Then it introduces the product, which is my product. And then we're looking for influencers, so that's a close, right? So I would say this email itself, it is a little bit long. And so what I did was I said, hey, ChatGPT, shorten the email by talking less about the features and benefits of the Analog Pocket, which is the product. Take out the introduction of myself in the beginning, write the cold email in a more casual tonality, right? So we had something that was kind of okay. Now let's make it better. So, hey, John, hope all is good. I was just checking out your YouTube channel, and I have to say I'm a fan. You definitely know your stuff when it comes to retro video games. So now, we're adding that context. This is the summary about my product. And then we're currently building a community of passionate retro gamers around Analog Pocket. I think your audience would be a perfect fit. So this is something more usable. I would definitely go in and adjust the copy a little bit, talk less about myself, more about the pain points of the person that I want to reach out to, whether it's maybe they don't have good sponsorships, maybe they don't have long-term sponsorships, or whatever the case is. And I would tweak it until it's something that is workable. But this gets me like, I would say like 60, 70% there, which is not bad. And then if I just kept tweaking it, I definitely can be something that is just as good as something I would handwrite myself. So that's on the cold email front, right? So if you're a sales development rep, business development person, whether you're doing influencer marketing or if you're literally like trying to generate meetings to sell a product or service, the concept is the same, right? You always want to just put in the prompt for whatever cold email you want to write about. You can even put in the link for your website so that AI knows exactly what your product is, and it will create something for you. And a lot of times this is valuable because when you're writing that cold email and you're not very skilled in copywriting, sometimes you get stuck. You don't know what to write and you just sit there for a couple of hours like overthinking, right? But if you feed ChatGPT a different type of prompt, then what's going to happen is it's going to give you different ideas. And from those ideas, you can build on top of it and improve. So you don't have to start from zero anymore. You can start 50% there. And that's a lot better than starting from zero because it's going to literally save you hours of time. And if you know in SDRs in America and even all over the world, they make a lot of money because their role directly contributes to sales. Obviously, they're going to get commissions for those sales. And this is a very, very valuable skill, whether you're a freelancer, you're an entrepreneur, if you work at a company, like you can make 6 figures, doing sales, right? And so this is one way you can definitely speed up the process. Now let's go ahead and go into a little bit different example when it comes to using ChatGPT, and that is writing copy, right? So let's say, you're creating a competitor to analog.co. Maybe you have a similar product to this, and what you want to do is you're creating a landing page and you want to take their copy and you want to kind of create something of yourself, right? I'm not saying you should copy them. I'm just using this as an hypothetical example. So let's say you have a competing product and you basically copy and paste their copy and you put it into ChatGPT. It could be like this. It could be something like, can you paraphrase this sales copy? You copy and paste, and it will give you something back out, right? And of course, there's going to be that plagiarism thing and everything like that. But what's interesting is you could use different tools. So you could definitely use a tool like Quillbot, for example, copy and paste the text that ChatGPT gives you, put it here, then it remix it, then it's something original, right? Now the ethics of that and everything like that, it's a different story, but definitely people will do that for sure, right? Of course, you can go in and edit different things, add different prompts like, hey, our product is better with these particular ways. Make sure, you emphasize that. You can definitely do some sales landing pages for a competing product, or if you're like a Shopify dropshipper, it's really the same game, especially when everyone sells the same thing, and that works very well. Okay, so let's say, you reach out to the person, you got your landing page, you got your competing product, whatever the case is, and let's say now you're working with an influencer and you want them to have 30-second shout out talking about your product and how great it is. Well, what if you don't want to write that yourself? What if you could just put in the prompt into ChatGPT? What I did was I said, hey, write a shout out script for influencers to promote this product. And then I just put the name of the website. And then it says, hey everyone, I want to give you a quick shout out to Analog Pocket. And it gave me this entire shout out script using the key information that was on the actual website. And it's very accurate, it's very good. And so it's not bad, right? And then I went a step further and said, okay, I want to include some popular retro games into the script. And then it added games like Super Mario Brothers, Tetris, Legend of Zelda, which everyone pretty much knows at this point. You can see the power of this, right? So if you take it step by step, the 4 steps that we took in this video is number 1, find a list of people that we want to work with. Number 2, write the cold email to convince them to get on a meeting with us so I can convince them. Number 3, we talked about what it would be like if we did sales landing page for our product, right? Number 4, it's, once we actually connect with the influencer, they agree to everything, what is it they're actually going to say on this shout out? And I basically wrote it for them by using ChatGPT. So the AI wrote it for them, and everything is pretty clean. And again, it's getting us like 60-70% there. You have to tweak it, you have to do different prompts, but it gets you there. It's gonna save you so much time. And even this whole process of making this video and putting these prompts in probably took me like 15 minutes, right? Whereas if you had someone full-time doing all of this from scratch without any AI, it probably would take them maybe half a day to do the entire thing, right? You can imagine, no matter what type of job you're doing at a company, or if you're your own boss, you're an entrepreneur or whatever, writing cold emails will save you time. Making lists of people you want to reach out will save you time. Writing sales copy will save you time. Doing things like writing scripts, make YouTube videos like I am right now, that's going to save you so much time. So the future, my friends, is that you want to use ChatGPT not as necessarily a replacement for what you do, but to get you 50 to 70% of the way there, to generate ideas for you that you couldn't come up with on your own. And it's really just an extension of yourself. It's very similar to how people can use Google nowadays to find any information on the internet and actually do things and build businesses. It's the same thing, except this is going to be so much more useful in that it can actually do creative work, especially when it comes to copywriting, sales and marketing, working with influencers, because that's really just communications at the end of the day. And it's very, very powerful. So you don't want to underestimate this. This can be applied to anything, whether you're a freelancer building websites for people, whether you're running advertisements for people, all it really is images, videos, and text. So if you're getting the text down part, it's getting you like halfway there. my friends, it's going to be saving you a ton of time, and you can definitely leverage this by going out to different people as an agency or freelancer, doing the work for that and getting paid, but really having ChatGPT do a majority of the work and heavy lifting for you. You just got to package it in a way that is final, complete, and people can understand it and actually get results with that. Now, for those of you who didn't know, ChatGPT, which is by OpenAI, is completely free right now. All you really need is a US phone number, and you can get that even if you are abroad and still use this for free. So definitely it's a tool you should take advantage of, play around with it, see if it's something for you, because I'm pretty sure, the future is AI, and this is going to be a very significant impact on how we work on a day-to-day basis. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, turn on notifications if you want to see more videos like this on how we can implement AI into our everyday lives, whether it's our personal lives, our professional lives, end of the day, trying to generate an income for ourselves. So let me know in the comments if you want to see more of that, and I will see you in the next one.